Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. It is my daughter's Paw Patrol third birthday party preparation. This took 2 days. This is the first day, and of course I am going to be setting up all the decorations, the goodie bags, all the balloons, and so I want to get my counters wiped off because I'm going to lay everything out to show you guys. I can't believe it. This is the longest video I think I have ever had. I had so much footage, but it was also one of the hardest videos to film because number one, I was rushing, I had a few helpers, and also just the amount of people and stuff going on. I couldn't get all of the footage that I wanted to, but I hope some of this is helpful to you if you're thinking about doing a Paw Patrol birthday or just a birthday party for your toddler in general. Some things that may help you out. I spend the few days before then slowly cleaning and doing my best to get some cleaning and things tidied up. Then I spend a day doing preparations, decorations, and the next day I do the cakes and the food. I do not include the food in this video. I will tell you later on what I do make and lay out for the adults, but you'll see what I put out for the kids. But first, we are starting with the goodie bags. So everything that I found, I either found at the party store or online on Amazon, and all of the goodie bag stuff was from Amazon. So we ordered the pink goodie bags with the paw prints on them. We have some rings, some little coloring packs, dum-dums, because those are my daughter's favorite candy right now. The little squishy things that you can find at the Dollar Tree, but we found a box of 100 of them on Amazon. So we decided to put a few of those in there because she absolutely loves those as well. And then later on, I end up putting in some leftover fruit snacks that are Paw Patrol themed just to go with it. I am very sad that I did not get any footage of the beautiful cookies that my best friend made. They were Paw Patrol cookies. She did an amazing job and individually wrapped them, and so I ended up putting one of those in each bag. So the goodie bags were stuffed. We also have masks that they could wear for a photo opportunity, and we put those in there when they were leaving as well. So very happy with the goodie bags. You never know what you're going to get when you go to a toddler party. I was so fortunate to have my friend come over and help me with the decoration day. The balloons were very difficult to figure out what I was going to do, but I ended up doing 3 things with balloons. I did a balloon arch. I ordered the arch online. It's just some metal and then the little plastic containers that are round that you put the balloons in, and then you slide them onto the pole, onto the metal pole, and it makes a balloon arch. And then I did a balloon garland that went above the area around my bar where the drinks and stuff were. And then I also did a number 3 with balloons inside that you will see soon. But first we're starting with the arch. I showed you the little ring. It has 4 places for balloons, but since we were not going to clamp this onto a table and have it be super full, we only did 3 per ring. That way it could lay flush against my railing that you will see where I end up putting this. And I also had a backdrop that was just a few feet tall of course, Paw Patrol characters, so that the balloon arch could go over the top and the little kids could stand in front of it or sit in front of it and take pictures. It was so much fun. The adults were over there taking pictures the whole time as well. It was really cute. So if you can come up with a good photo booth opportunity at a birthday party that you throw for adults or kids, it is always going to be a hit. So here is the metal arch. You can see it is actually just balancing between the walls there, and I could have used the clamps on the railing, but it would have been really up high, which would be fine for a different party. But because these are toddlers, I wanted it to be low, and it actually just stayed, and it's still there. It's still standing strong, and it hasn't budged. But I was really excited how this turned out. I also ordered some blow-up balloons online as well in dog bones and pink paw prints, and so I put those under there as well, so just kind of fill in the space under the balloons where the backdrop meets, fill in some space and make it look a little more cute and a little more pink. The number 3. You guys, this was so much harder than it looks. I actually watched a YouTube video online of how to put this together before I even ordered it, and it said to use a glue gun. I could not find my glue gun, so I ended up buying one, but this is a 2-person job. If it could be a 1-person job, it would just be way more difficult. So thankful for the extra set of hands, but I just ended up gluing it a little bit separated and then pushing them together and holding it for a few seconds. But the number 3, just with all the curves, was very difficult. Number 1 would have been super easy. And then also you will see trying to get the balloons in there just did not work as beautifully as they make it look online. Nothing is ever as easy as it looks online, so you heard it here first. I'm trying not to sugarcoat anything. This was difficult and it was time consuming. So we made it work, and it actually got lots of compliments, but it took a lot longer than I was anticipating, so I didn't end up getting as many things done during this time as I would have wanted. But that was okay. We managed. We got as much done as we possibly could, and it was so fun to be able to do this with my friend. My husband was gone with my daughter both days for a couple of hours so that I could do this in peace without having to watch a child or having a child run around and tear it all down. And she was so excited when she came home and saw everything done. It was so much fun to see her little eyes light up. Here are the balloons that we blew up for this. We ended up taking the gold out, it just didn't fit, but we did the teal and purple just in this area because one of the Paw Patrol's colors are teal and purple, and my daughter would not let me forget that I needed to do that. They do have girl-themed Paw Patrol party things that are just pink and purple, but if I did that and did not include the other Paw Patrol characters, she would have been devastated. So I tried to incorporate all of them, which is a lot of colors. So just in this number 3, we ended up doing the girl colors, and it turned out really cute. But like I said, using these glue dots, if you've ever used glue dots, comment down below and let me know if they worked. They just did not work, you guys. I saw online that they were like jumbled in different sizes. Maybe my balloons were just too big and I needed to get smaller ones. If I'd ever do this again, I definitely suggest doing the small balloons and fitting more in here. It's still really cute, but I probably wouldn't have done it if I would have known that it wasn't going to turn out as I thought. I also was hoping to place this on the floor by the photo opportunity, and it would not stand, and I was not going to have kids be knocking it over, so it ended up going on the table, which worked out really cute. So happy about the placement of that. Now I am just using one of my tiered trays. I do this every year for the kid snacks, and I leave them on the dessert table right out in front so that kids can run by and grab or ask their parents for what they want. I did set out food, like I said. I'll tell you what I made. I actually have a crock pot that has 3 mini crock pots in one, and so I just turned them to warm, and I warmed up some meatballs, just frozen meatballs. We actually cooked them in the oven and threw them in there and put barbecue sauce on top, and then I cooked chicken in our pressure cooker, and I put some buffalo sauce on it after I shredded it. put some Hawaiian rolls out and coleslaw so people could make their own little sliders. And then I just did a charcuterie board, but it was nothing fancy. It was just some vegetables and some pretzels, crackers, cheese. And then I made several different dips, just a ranch dip, super easy with the packet, a pumpkin dip, and some caramel. I did not make the caramel. It was just a dip from the store as well. Put those out, and then just some chips, and that is all we had for the adults. Kids, obviously over here, goldfish fruit snacks, these little graham crackers that are pup treats, and some applesauce. Only half of this got eaten. I tried to send some of it home in the goodie bags when they were leaving. That's another thing that is so stressful about kids' parties, is sometimes you forget to send the goodie bag home because it just gets so chaotic, and then you just hate life. You're like, no, why did I not give it to them? But I didn't forget a single person. I was so happy about that. I was watching, and when people said goodbye, I was like, no, please take this. So they all got their treats. The food that I made that I was just talking about, almost all of it got eaten. There was some of the meatballs and chicken left over, but the platter got completely eaten. So success. I didn't make too little or too much of food. And then these are the masks we found on Amazon that the kids could just wear, they could take home, they could use in the photo booth, whatever they wanted to do. And then last minute, my husband mentioned that he actually also ordered some, and so I ended up putting out more. So we have so many that we still have left over. I got just a few little party blowers. My daughter is obsessed with these, so has a couple left over that she's been running around playing with ever since. And then, you guys, I got a tiny piñata. I couldn't figure out how to get the candy in it, so I just use it as a decoration, and then I can save it and put it in my daughter's room. But we normally do a big piñata, but it was going to rain, and I knew that it was just probably not the greatest idea with our backyard project. I didn't want to push it and buy it too early, so I just never got one. We probably could have pulled off one because the weather cleared, but it was really cold, but that's fine. The kids were playing so hard, I don't think anybody noticed. A little container full of dum-dums, the leftover dum-dums. Actually, that is a container for Halloween. We found it at a Halloween store, and I just got it because it was super cute. Now, I did not video me blowing up these balloons, but I did clusters of the Paw Patrol colors, and now I'm going to put them with ribbon together to put up the garland. You guys, I showed you guys how to do this on my Hocus Pocus party video, but all you do is blow up the two balloons and tie the two together, and do that twice, and then you can wrap the two around each other to make four. It is the fastest, easiest way to do a garland. I love it. I will always do it this way. I am happy that I got the balloon arch because I think it would look super cool over a table for like an adult party or a baby shower or anything else I might host. But when it comes to garland, this is the way to go. I have the best area to put this up because I don't have to use any stickers, any command hooks, anything to hold it in place. It's just a little nook here, and then I just tied the balloons to a coffee cup and put it on the top of my cabinet, and it just falls over and stays in place. It is still there. I am sure my daughter would not be happy if we took it down quite yet, so it will remain up for a little bit more time. And then I bought a blow up number 3 that was gold, and so I tried several different places for this, but you'll see at the end of the video where it ends up. Okay, it is the next day. It is party day, and I am making first thing in the morning the cakes. Now, I was going to make a singular cake for my daughter and then cupcakes for everyone else. She did not want that. She wanted a cupcake, probably because on her birthday a few days prior, I actually made her a cake and I used this recipe. So I knew it was good, and so I'm able to share it with you. It's just called a vanilla dream cake. The only thing I did differently is I did not have any actual vanilla beans, so I just used vanilla extract, but it was totally fine. You cook the sugar on the stove and then melt the butter in with that ingredients, and you have to let it cool completely. So while it was cooling, I went ahead and picked out my colors of muffin wrappers and put them in, all the Paw Patrol colors that I had. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill them and cook them. But first, make the dry ingredients together and then slowly mix the rest of the ingredients. Making a cake is just so different for me. I am all about the cookies and the muffins, but I never make cakes. So I was super excited to try this. It's really delicious. And then after I show you guys this recipe, I am also making chocolate cupcakes as well, because I just feel like when you go to a party, you need the option. You need vanilla and you need chocolate option. It's never just one option. In our house, I like to have both. So she chose chocolate, and so that was good because she had the vanilla cake on her actual birthday. For the vanilla cake I made on her actual birthday, I did not share it with you guys, but I ended up making 2 layers, and then I put vanilla pudding and strawberries in the middle, and then just did a buttercream frosting. I, of course, will link these recipes in the description box that I found on Pinterest. Both so super good. So if you have a party coming up or a birthday, or you just want to try to make a cake, these are easy and they turn out well. This clear pitcher has been a lifesaver for me. I use it for so many different things, but I actually found it at IKEA. It was a teapot, and I lost the top of it, but I kept the container and I use it all of the time. It is so good for pouring. It's funny because when I first made this cake, I just thought to myself, shouldn't this be thicker? But it's because I don't make cakes that often. I just didn't realize. No, it's not thicker. It does puff up really nicely because you use the baking soda and the baking powder, but cake batter is more runny than I thought, so this worked out perfect just to go ahead and pour them in instead of scooping like I am used to. Now on to the chocolate cupcakes. The only thing different here is just very weird to me how very different recipes are just so different. But this one, obviously you use cocoa powder, which makes sense, but I didn't cook anything on the stove. However, at the end of the recipe, you do add a cup of boiling water. I have no idea why, because in the other recipe, the water that you used to melt, you had to let it cool. This one, obviously, you just add boiling water straight right in, but it worked. These turned out fantastic as well. I do not show me making the buttercream, but if you need a good frosting recipe, I'll link it below. It's connected to the dream cake. I just put both of them, both the chocolate and the vanilla, topped with the buttercream frosting. But it's just, you just use room temperature butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, and then some milk, very little milk to thin it out if it needs thinning. And it's delicious. It's fail proof. It's good every single time. So I even have some left over that I ended up making those instant cookies that you just buy that are already pre-made, that are in Halloween shapes. We made those last night, and then I put extra buttercream on top. Again, I'm just doing my lovely frosting bag recipe. I have a frosting tip. I have many tips that I could use with the bag. I just did not. If I would have had more time, I probably would have, but this is the quickest, best looking way that I know how to get frosting on a cupcake, and it always works. So I just put everything in a Ziploc bag, cut off the corner tip, and then you just frost, squeeze it out, and frost. There was so much in here. My hand was hurting. It was getting heavy after a while, but it was definitely plenty. It's a double batch, but it was definitely plenty to get all of these cupcakes frosted. And then I went in my pantry and looked through all my sprinkles and found some in the Paw Patrol colors and frosted each one a little bit different with the sprinkles after I put the frosting on. I will say the frosting I popped in the fridge for about 20 minutes just while I was putting my daughter down for her nap, and then came back up to it, and man, it hardened quick when I had squeezed it out. So the sprinkles didn't stick to it as well as the second batch. When I do the vanilla, it sticks better because it had been worked with a little bit. Okay, now that the main event is over, because this is what we come for, we come to sing happy birthday and have cake. Those are done. I'm going to set them out, put the little pics that I bought in them with all of the characters on there. I didn't have enough to put in all of the cupcakes, so some of them didn't have any. I just thought that was fine because, you know, maybe somebody didn't want to have to take that out, especially an adult. And then I did put the other ones that wouldn't fit on here over by the adult food, and so that they didn't have to walk over here. They could just grab a cupcake if they wanted. And I also did not make people wait to have one until we sang happy birthday. If they wanted to have one ahead of time, then they just could. we had 3 areas set up for the little kids to play. First one being the living room here, and I just wanted to clean off her little table and I have a Paw Patrol kind of magnetic puzzle where you dress them up in different outfits, so I put that out for them. And then she got a puppet theater for her birthday and all of the Paw Patrol puppets, so I put that out for them to play with. And then of course the playroom and our garage has a princess castle in it, so we left that all open for kids to play, and boy did they play. I just wanted to set out some drinks. I'll be putting some ice on this later and making a pink lemonade in a little bit, but getting some sodas set out for the adults and some Capri Suns set out for the little kids. Over here on the little drink bar area, almost all the soda got drank, but the Capri Suns did not. We have quite a few extra. I think the kids were just too busy to eat and drink anything. They were just all about the playtime and hanging out with their friends, which is totally fine. So we'll be drinking those for a little while, but I'm happy with how this turned out. I'm happy to have a little area where it was just a quick grab and go and everybody could just help themselves. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this amazing birthday party preparation for my little 3-year-old. This was so much fun to do, so much fun to film, and so much fun to share. It was just such an amazing time. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!